Here we go. All right. Yeah, it's recording. Okay, so today, before we go through what the syllabus, which is one of the things we're going to talk about today, I want to address a couple of the questions that I had in the discussion question I gave you yesterday, which was set up more like a little quiz, which is a one question answer. I replied to everybody. Now, how you see those replies, not 100% sure, but I'm sure you could figure it out and maybe you could tell me. But I'm sure it's obvious. It probably gives you a notification or something. But I had a lot of the same concerns or the same questions. And even though I addressed them with those people, it's probably something that maybe is, floating around in your brain too, or maybe you didn't even realize you had that question yet. One thing that comes up a lot, or came up a lot, is the when are we going to be able to go back in person, or are we, and if we do, what's it going to look like with face-to-face and virtual, that kind of thing. Well, I think you know that we're scheduled to come back and be hybrid on September 8th. Whether or not that's going to happen, I don't think anybody really knows at this point. I think y'all are kind of well aware that information changes daily. I will say that I am very confident that the district, and especially this campus, will do the best, whatever decisions they are, will be what's best for everybody and in the safest way possible. Like, I really do trust that, or I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. But, so I don't know. Who knows if it'll be then or later. You should get the choice maybe for the rest of the school year. I'm not 100% sure about that timeline. That's the impression I get, though. And so to address the other part of when we do go back and some students are face-to-face and some students are virtual, what does that look like? And if I'm at home and I'm virtual, does that mean I'm just on my own? So my answer to that is no, you are definitely not just on your own, at least in my class. I'm still going to do everything I possibly can to make sure that you are successful. What that will actually look like day to day, that's kind of a good question. I mean, we've been discussing a lot of things, but it makes my head hurt because I don't know how I can do the best for everybody when some people are sitting here, some people are sitting at home, and we're all in 7th period. Like, it just seems a little overwhelming. But we are kicking around some things, and I haven't, nailed one way down yet. And it may not look the same every day, but just know that I will take the best care of you I possibly can, regardless of what platform, whether you're at home or whether you're here. We'll figure it out, okay? And we're all learning this together and just trying to be flexible and make it work without sacrificing your education. I mean, that's very important to me. That I feel like everybody's really pretty much, you had to sacrifice a little of that education in the spring because we didn't know what to do, never expected this. So I think we've got it a little bit better under control, and we can make sure that we make up for that and get you where you need to be. The other thing is, it came up a few times that people said, I'm a little worried about keeping up with everything and being organized and being able to know what I'm supposed to do. And so I said to all of them, I really think the weekly checklist is going to help you with that. And then the more I've thought about, after I answered all that, and I was trying to make the weekly checklist for next week, it was hard for me to make because I felt like doing it a week at a time is like too much. And I think that it would make more sense on a daily basis. So I asked 3rd period, I said, I just want you to think about it. I'll ask for some more feedback later, but I want you to put in the chat quickly, like, what's your first instinct? Do you think you'd rather have it daily or weekly? Like, all of them, it was just daily, 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 daily. So I said, that pretty much answers my question. It makes more sense for me to write it that way. I think it would help you make things make more sense, so you did exactly what you needed to do that day, and then you can just turn that checklist in day by day, and maybe you'll feel a little bit better about the fact that you didn't miss anything, okay? So starting Monday, we have a weekly checklist for this week that we'll look at in just a minute, but then starting Monday, I'll put a daily one in each folder, and I think maybe that would help you a little bit too, okay? And then the question about the student-paced days. So student-paced versus, or self-paced, I'm sorry, I keep calling it student-paced. Self-paced versus teacher-paced. Today was kind of our first shot at that. And I can't speak for anybody else, but in here, it may not look the exact same every single day on what it would be. But on a student-paced day, you should be able to go to Schoology, go to the first 6 weeks folder. You get and whatever day it is, you go into that folder, whether it's a self-paced or a teacher-paced day, in that folder, there will be instructions of what you need to take care of that day. I'm going to do the best I can to make it as obvious as possible so that you're not confused, okay? And we'll talk about what your self-paced day is going to look like tomorrow here in just a minute. Okay? All right, I think that was all I wanted to address right then. Let's look at, well, I want to look at in here the, well, I'm going to talk about Zoom first so I don't forget. I don't know that any of you had an issue in this class period, but some people were having issues with only your first name showed up, so I asked you to put your last name in. You did without a problem. Next day you came back, it was just your first name again. And you weren't being a jerk and changing it, it was just changing back. So I think I know how you can change it where it doesn't change itself back. Also, if you've had any issues at all trying to get onto a Zoom and it was asking you for a passcode that doesn't exist, if you watch this, it's a 3-minute video I made in this folder that tells you how to make sure that you're logged in correctly. And so you can watch this right here. I made this 3-minute video and you need this link. Don't go to this link and then just sign up because that's not what you need to do. This 3-minute video shows you exactly what to do. And then I'm 99% sure it will fix all those issues. Okay, so just there's that. Okay, then let's go back and we're going to talk about the syllabus. So in Schoology, if you will click on the syllabus folder, and in there, there is a link to the syllabus. And it's a link and not a document. That way I can change it if anything has to change or I need to update anything, right? So here's your syllabus. I also emailed this out to parents yesterday. If your parent or guardian doesn't have a good email address in Skyward, then they didn't get it. So that's why I emailed the same thing to you and you could just forward it to them, or you could share the syllabus out of here. And then the signature page. So on a normal traditional day, if you were sitting in here, I'd have given you a syllabus with a piece of paper. You can take it home, sign it, bring the piece of paper back. Clearly, we can't do that right now. So you're going to get it signed and turned in with Cami. And if you're not familiar with Cami at all, you all should have gotten it installed yesterday, 4th period. So if not, you need to go back into yesterday's folder and make sure that happens because we're going to be using Cami a lot. And so in that email I sent to your parents, I also made a little video to show them how to use Cami. They're still going to need you to get into their Schoology and help them with it. Like they don't have to do it themselves, but I wanted them to see why I couldn't just email them the signature form, okay? And we'll talk about that as soon as we're done with the syllabus. This is my intro video we all had to make. You don't need to watch it, it's horrific. Then your teal and gold days, I know this is super tiny, but you can enlarge it on your touch screen and you can find it other places, but it does give you the general idea of how things work. And then my office hours is like a tutorial schedule, and these bother me a lot because we had to put in a certain amount of time, but my tutorial schedule has always said before and after school, Monday through Friday, anytime, as long as I don't have a meeting. Because I'm here every morning, I'm here every afternoon, there's really no reason for me to limit tutorials. Because when I limit it to stuff like this, you know, what if you need help Monday afternoon? I know some teachers would turn you around and say, or turn, yeah, and say, I don't have tutorials today. I'm not going to do that. So I didn't, but I also didn't want to tie myself to my computer too much. So I put in the bare minimum that I had to put in, but I still want to make myself as available as I possibly can. So all it takes is some communication. On Monday, you can text me and say, hey, can we meet after school for a little while? You know, it's almost like it's a by appointment thing, which I should rarely ever turn you down unless I have an appointment or, you know, have a meeting or something. So just make sure you're communicating with me. And remember, on the student-paced days, when you are not required to be sitting in here with me, you know, I'm not going to be sitting here with my Zoom on every time. I will tomorrow because that'll be a little bit different, but like waiting for somebody to come. But if you send me a remind and say, hey, could you please jump on 7th period so you can help me work through this? If I'm available, which I should be, then I will be happy to do that. So you can maybe get some of your tutorial stuff taken care of during actual class time as well. All right, so then here's your support. These links are all live links that should work. My email for your parents to use. You can email me as well, but really texting me through Remind is probably the best. My school phone number, if you're not part of my Remind, make sure that happens. Here it is. and your parents can. My Zoom link, which clearly you already know how to find because you're here, but I put it lots of places, plus I made it a tiny URL so it was easy to remember in case you couldn't find the link. This link to class videos currently takes you to a Loom folder. It's a different way to record videos that I thought I was going to try because I thought I was really going to like it, but the more I use it, the more I really don't. So that link will look exactly the same to you, but before Monday when you click on it, it will take you somewhere different. I'm going to go back to putting my stuff in YouTube. I think that'll be easier for you also because then you can subscribe and you can get alerts when I update videos and whatnot. And I'll just go back to doing it that way. The online resources can be found in ClassLink. Okay, so I know you already know a little bit about ClassLink, but one of the things you're going to do tomorrow on your self-paced day is you're going to have to go to your backpack to get some stuff. When you go to your backpack and you actually click on pre-cal, you'll have different apps in there than you do in your other classes because I've added some things. You will not always have to go through the backpack to get there. Tomorrow you do because it's linking you to sign up for certain things, but you can. So it's just another way to do it. If Schoology crashes, you can go to your backpack and get the same links, okay? Or you can have them shortcutted, whatever. Like you have lots of options, but this one is gonna help us get some stuff set up, ready to go, okay? And then you'll just have whatever works for you. How to get there the easiest is fine, as long as you can get to the right place. Then if you got tablet issues, this is the technology help desk. This is the district one. There's also a memorial one that I left off for some reason, so I'm gonna add that and it'll just update. I just haven't added it yet. Any questions about tutorials or any of that support stuff, anything at this point? All right, so our required materials. I put composition book on there, but it's not really required. And it bothers me to say that. I'm sure some of you have used ISNs before. My ISN is pretty hardcore. Like it's very organized and it's very specific to the point where we would be in the second semester and I'd be able to say, turn to page 36 and everybody can turn back to page 36. We all have the same notes there and then we can tie that to whatever we're doing. And it works out beautifully. And even if you don't like doing it at the beginning, towards the end of the year, that's like your little pre-cal Bible and you don't want to lose it and you don't want anybody to touch it. And it has everything in it you possibly need. So having school this way, we can't do that. And that gives me great anxiety. So I have already decided that, you know, let's say that we all came back September 8th, which we're not. I know some people are going to choose to stay home. I don't want to start an ISN right then. So we're going to have a digital notebook all year. And we will learn how to organize that kind of as we go along. Now, that does not mean that you have to do everything digitally. So I will explain that here in just a second. But when we do things in Kami, which we're going to do a lot of things in Kami, it creates folders in Google Drive for you. But I'm not sure what that looks like on the teacher end of it. Like if I'm going to have a class folder or what. So until y'all start turning stuff in, I don't know exactly what it looks like in Google Drive. So how we're going to organize that, you're going to have to give me a week or so to figure out what the easiest way is, whether you're going to share a folder with me, whatever. But I'm going to have things named in a logical fashion because I still want you to be able to go back and find specific notes. That's the whole reason you take them, is so that you can refer back to them. So I'm still working on that. But when you take notes in class or in virtual class, you're going to have some options. So on Monday, we actually get to start talking about math. And I will, I'll have the notes uploaded probably today after school for Monday, but just the blank notes, not the video or anything else. And it's going to be in Kami. So you're going to have a couple of options. Your first option is to open in Kami and take all of your notes in Kami. And I'll show you how that works here in just a minute, and turn them in that way. That even though you turn them in, you still have access to them. Your other option is to print it off and have a piece of paper in front of you and take notes that way. I do realize that you may not all have a printer, or if you do, it may not work. But one of the reasons that I'm going to put them in there ahead of time, I don't want anybody to lose their job, but you know, maybe somebody could print them off at work for you and bring them home, just saying, like if you prefer that way. That's the way I would prefer. It would drive me crazy doing it all digitally because I believe math should be done in pencil and on paper. But it is what it is, and we're going to make it work. The last option, which I'm not a huge fan of, is just taking it on a separate sheet of paper, taking notes on a separate sheet of paper. And one of the reasons I don't like that is that my notes are like skeleton notes so that the graphs and all this stuff can be there. And if you're just taking out a separate sheet of paper, you're not going to catch all that information, and it's just going to be difficult for you to kind of put all together. And then I will talk to you about how you get the hard copies up digitally once we get there, okay? Make sure you have some notebook paper and something to write with. You do need to, write some stuff down. Your district issued device working properly, right? Oh, and personal earbuds. I knew there was something I forgot to talk about before this. Personal earbuds to listen to the videos, obviously. But one of the other concerns that was addressed a few times yesterday was you were afraid that you were not only going to be able to not keep yourself organized, but keep from getting distracted, okay? And I get it. I'm glad that I'm sitting at work doing this and not sitting at home, because it makes it a lot easier for me to focus on what I need to do. So I would suggest that you find some place in your house, most likely not sitting on your bed all the time, because it's hard to not want to just lay down and go to sleep. But find some place, doesn't have to be a fancy desk or anything, like this is your school place, this is your study place that you are going to pay attention to. And then I know you might think that this next part is cheesy, but just stay with me here. Music is good, but while you're really trying to concentrate, you shouldn't be listening to your favorite music and just like bopping along, okay? Put on something else, like, don't laugh, but like classical music, or on in Spotify or Apple Music or whatever. You can find playlists that's truly music to help you concentrate. Like, people make big bucks off of this stuff. And I'm not saying that music is like the end all be all that'll help you concentrate, but having that in your head, and you're not like trying to sing along or changing your playlist because you're not happy with that song or whatever, like this stuff, you just let it play, but it also blocks out everything else around you. If your dog's barking or something's happening, your siblings are fighting, like it'll block all that stuff out and it'll help you focus. And this, people can react differently and different things work for different people. So you just need to figure out what works for yourself. There's not going to be a teacher there telling you to stay on task. Maybe you need to ask somebody to do that for you that you live with. I don't know. But, you're not a third grader that's stuck at home when mom's at work and they can't focus on what they're supposed to do. We're big boys and girls. And so you're going to have to take some ownership of that and figure out what works for you. And I know it's going to be harder for some of you than others, but I know that you can make it work. And I will help you in any way I can with that. Okay. Any question about the required materials or anything at this point? All right, and don't forget, make sure you've typed your name in if you haven't. Grades. So we have streamlined grading on campus. We streamlined it in the math department a few years ago, but now across the campus, if you are in a premium point class, your major grades are 60%, minor grades are 40%. And if you're in an on-level class, those percentages are switched. Your actual grades are always in Skyward. The grades that are in Schoology or in Google Classroom, not all of those may go into Skyward, and those averages don't necessarily reflect what your actual average is. Your attendance, so this explains teal days and gold days again, and how those work. And then, oh wait, oh look, I have teacher paste twice. Oh no, that's right. Oh, self-paced. Sorry, I thought, oh my gosh, I copied and pasted and I messed that up. No, that's right. So it then explains teacher paced and self-paced, maybe for your parents if they don't really understand it. But you are expected to interact with this Schoology content daily. I cannot stress that enough. You can't just get everything done and be done with it. You have to come back to the folder. There will be new stuff every day, and you have to do that stuff that day. It counts for attendance, all right? I'm not going to read the expectations to you. You can read them. It's act right. It's basically what it means, okay? Act right, do the right thing. You know what to do. The description of the course, we do have a textbook available online. I don't really use the textbook. I mean, not for assignments and stuff, but it is there for you for an extra reference if you need it. And then with the content that we will cover this year, okay? What questions do we have about the syllabus and the expectations? Anything? Okay, so let's talk about how you get your syllabus signed. So in Schoology, in the syllabus folder, here's the syllabus signature page. So when I open this, And I'm not clicking this link. Actually, I'm going to click this link, but it's not the link you want to click. If I click this link, it is going to open a PDF for me. And when I open that PDF, maybe that's what I want to print when it's notes so I can take notes on it. But when it's a Kami assignment, you open the assignment with Kami. I'm going to click on this. And Kami should be installed. That's why I said multiple times yesterday, you have to get that one installed. So, so very important. So when it opens it the first time, it's going to create a copy and put it in your Google folder. I'm sorry, in your Google Drive in a folder. Now I have some stuff already in here because I made a video yesterday and then I've done this a few times, but I kind of left it in there because I want you to see that I did it. I didn't save it. I just shut it out. I shut it out and then I come back and it's still right there where it was before. So on this, you can type things in Kami. So let's pretend like, oops, let's pretend like I hadn't done that. And then I can grab my eraser and I can erase that. Okay, there we go. I can click a text box and then up here, I can type my name. And you can type all this stuff. You can type everything that's not a signature. All right, and so you can type right here and you're gonna retype this and then you're gonna sign that you abide by that. Then you're gonna sign, it says, I've read the syllabus from Ms. Finnan located here, which it's a live link, but it's the same syllabus we just looked at. Okay, it's not a different one, I just have it linked everywhere. And then you're gonna sign right here. So to sign, I can grab this draw. There is a thing that says signature, but that's like how you set up a signature. I'm gonna click on drawing. Maybe I'll do it in green this time. And you can also change the thickness. I'll make it a 2. When I did this, I was on a touch screen. I'm not on a touch screen and it still looks really bad. But I'm with my mouse right now, but I can still sign. And I know it's not gonna look beautiful. It's like when you're signing at the credit card machine, right? But you sign it. Then I've completed the About Me Google form. Same one I sent you the other day, same one in Schoology, but there's a link to it if you haven't done it. You don't have to do it again. You already did it, you can just sign right there. Then if you're not, like you've done your part, but you need your parents to do it and they're not here right now, you can close this out. In order for your parents to sign this, you're gonna have to open this back up in Kami and let them sign that they've read the syllabus. And if they're like, what syllabus? You never showed me the syllabus, then they can click right here. And then that they've completed the parent contact information form. That again, I sent out a couple weeks ago. Some of them filled it out a couple weeks ago. They do not have to do it again. I just put the link there in case they hadn't done it at all. All right. In the email I sent to your parents that you may have to forward on, I put a little video in there about how to use Kami just so that they wouldn't feel overwhelmed by that or they would understand why I couldn't just email it to them. All right, Diego, you have a question for me, hon?
Can we use that signature pen thing, that little button there?
Wait, say that again?
That little button there that signs it for you, like makes it your own signature for you.
This?
That one. Can we use that?
Yes. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I just didn't want to make you get fancy, but yeah, if you want to get fancy. It probably saves it for you too. I just didn't get that far. I'm okay with that. Anything else? I mean, the better you get with this, the better off you are. This is one of the ways you can take notes, and you don't have to write all the time. You can type in the text box. You can use a stylus. It's probably better than using your finger or whatever. But here's the thing. This says save, like when you hover over it, do not click that to save it. Like it's gonna save it itself if you close it out. You're not gonna click turn it in until you're literally ready to turn it in. Okay, and then it'll turn it into me. You will still have access to it. That's the good thing about turning things in like this. It's not like a piece of paper I'm holding that you can't see. And you can create a document in Kami. That's why you have this little extension. Because if you click on that, then you can upload anything you have and be able to do the same thing with it. All right. So I think you'll be using this in some of your other classes as well. All right. Any questions about any of that? All right. Let's talk about today's folder real quick. So I'm going to go to first 6 weeks. Math, so Thursday, Friday. So this folder is for today and tomorrow. So the first thing in there says, if this is a self-paced day for you, which it's not today, but it will be tomorrow, so this will apply to you tomorrow, then you need to watch the video. watch this video. I've already had somebody email me and tell me they couldn't figure something out. And my reaction was, well, then clearly you didn't watch the video, because the video is not that long. And if you watched it, you would know exactly why you can't do what you're trying to do. So make sure you watch this video. It's going to tell you how to handle this checklist. Don't just try to start doing this checklist. Okay. So go, and you should only be able to see the 7th period. If for whatever reason you can see more than one checklist, only do 7th period, because there's specific links in there. If you want, you can do this today. That's fine. I don't care. But you will still have to come back to this page tomorrow, because there will be a Friday discussion question in there. This you have to complete today. You don't complete it, it goes against your attendance. I can't stress that enough. They're one question things. This one's cheesy too. We'll get to real content here pretty soon, but you've got to do that. Okay, it's proving that you're interacting when you're supposed to be interacting. So yes, you can work ahead some, but you always have to come back to that folder and make sure you actually did something for that day. Oh, the other question that was, so like, do you have to do what's in the self-paced, on a self-paced day, do you have to do what's in the folder during that class period? Like, do you have to do it during 7th period tomorrow? The answer is no, but you have to do it tomorrow. Okay, does that make sense? You can work ahead on what's in there so far, but come back to see what the new stuff is. And it's all on that checklist. Oh, that's what I didn't say, but I think it's in this video. So in the first 6 weeks folder, what you couldn't see before, I told you this the other day, the weekly checklist. So you can see it now, and I explained that in the video too. And you can check off, you know, some of the stuff we've already done. You just literally check it off. When you're done at the end of the week, you turn it in. Okay. What questions do we have? Okay. I know y'all have had a lot of information this week. Some of it may be over and over again. Some of it may be obvious. Hopefully you remember all the stuff that wasn't obvious. We have one more day of this, then we actually get to start school on Monday. And I think that things will work out pretty smooth. Like we'll get in the groove of things and it'll be okay. All right. Anybody got anything else for me? All right. So remember, tomorrow, 7th period, I will be here with my Zoom on. If you need to jump on because you're having trouble with the checklist or whatever, or you have any other questions, you can jump on with me. Normally during 7th period, I won't be sitting here waiting, but I could jump on if you need me to. You just have to let me know. Okay? We good? All righty. Y'all have a great day. Make sure you do what you're supposed to do for today. And I will see you later. Bye.
Miss Finnan.
Yes.
Me.
Okay, 1 second. Let me stop sharing so things are jumping around. I'm not closing you out. Okay, yes, what's up?
I did the Desmos activity and it still says that I have a 0, so I don't know if I like.
That's weird. I wonder, it's not past the date, right? I don't know. Oh, you have a 0 on. Oh, I'm so sorry. When you said Desmos, my brain went to Delta Math. And so I was thinking, what? And so I clicked, but then I clicked on quizzes. Oh my God, it's been a long day. All right. So the Desmos activity, that must mean that you hadn't done it all. And now I have gotten, close off one thing. Let me get to it. If some people were missing, just sometimes in Desmos, you can miss like one slide. It doesn't mean you didn't do anything, but it had to have been quite a lot for me not to give you 100. Did you go back and do anything after that day, like after I graded it?
I think I missed one of them where it said that I needed to submit it because I did do it all, but then I think I forgot to submit it. And then yesterday I checked again and it did.
Okay, well I haven't gone back and looked again since I put in those zeros because I was kind of waiting for everybody to get finished, but I'm going to see what your progress looks like on this end and make sure there's not just like a problem with what I see. Oh, no, wait. Okay, I clicked on the wrong class. But this is 7th period, right? Okay, I must have clicked no. Oh. Oh, I'm sorry, because I was looking for the wrong first name. That's why I'm just stupid. It has you alphabetized by, well, no, it doesn't even have that. Hang on a second. It is by name. Oh, I know why. You're just in there as Sarah. Did you log in with your district stuff?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I wasn't sure who you were. That's why I couldn't find you right now. Okay. So I'm going to go fix that. When it popped up, did you take your last name out?
No, I logged in with my Google account, like for the Pasadena one.
Yeah. Okay. With like sign in with Google, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So I just wonder why it's just your first name. Okay. I'm going to, I'll fix that. Like I said, I haven't gone back and checked that stuff yet anyway, but I will go fix that. Just make sure the next time you log in that it has your first and last name, and then it should keep it, I would think. So like the next time you have an activity or something.
Mhm.
Okay, and you'll be fine. I'll fix that today.
Mhm. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. Anthony, did you need something, sweetheart? You're muted. You're muted.
Oh
All
my.
right, what's up?
Okay. So today we're supposed to just do the syllabus and send it to you, and then tomorrow is whatever it has to do on.
Yes, and make sure you do that discussion question in that folder.
Yeah, I did that
Yeah,
one.
okay, that's awesome. So yes, if you did that, get your syllabus signed. I mean, I understand like if your parents aren't home tonight or whatever, but try and get that done today if at all possible. And that's all you have to do for me today because you were here. We talked through the rest of it. If you want to go ahead and get the other stuff started or done, make sure you watch the video first. That way tomorrow during 7th period, you could already be done with this, but if you got stuck on something, you could ask me a question real quick and then you just be done.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.